The seat for president isn't the only issue on the ballot. Utah voters can expect to vote for governor, lieutenant governor, Senate, judges, amendments, issues. We have Aaron Davidson here, the Utah County Clerk, with us this morning to talk about the election process, how things are going. You have a big school issue on the ballot. So
yes,
how's turnout so far?
Well, we've had about 75,000 people show up so far. We have 9,000 active voters. So we're getting a good turnout.
Does Utah County usually get good turnout? Well, one of the top counties?
Yeah, I think it's on par average.
Yeah.
So we're expecting about 80 to 90% turnout for a presidential race.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the ballot boxes. I mean, we saw those two set on fire in the Northwest. How safe are the ballot boxes?
So we do have fire suppressants in them, but you know, we don't have an opportunity to test them very often. So like the one you just said, one turned on, one didn't. So there's always that risk of it not working. They're there though.
But they're always under video surveillance, right?
Yeah, every single drop box is under video surveillance.
How secure is our voting this year around? Is it more secure than 4 years ago?
I think so. I kind of have a different opinion. I don't know. I like the drop boxes and in person. There's been some issues with the U.S. Postal Service. So I do try to encourage people to find our drop box or come vote in person.
What issues might be with the Postal Service? Just speed or?
Speed is one, and also as last year in southern Utah counties, there was the issue of going down to Nevada and then coming back up because the U.S. Postal Service has become a bulk mail processing service. And so everything that's dropped off in Utah County and all the counties around Salt Lake, they have to travel, they have to ship them into Salt Lake, and that's where they get their postmark.
Okay.
And they don't always get it done that day. So, you know, if you drop them off the day before and you think it's going to get counted, but it gets postmarked the next day, it's not going to get counted.
Okay. And I know Lindsay was just talking about she sent hers in last week and it still hasn't been counted yet. She's doing the Track My Vote. You can do that, right?
Yes.
If you do send it in the mail. But you say in person or drop it off in the ballot boxes.
Yes. Find a drop box. There's one in every city. And so actually I saw Utah County stopped paying for return postage last January. And that was to encourage people to use the drop box or vote in person.
Oh.
And it's improved.
So people have to pay for their own postage?
Yes.
Just
if you don't, the federal government still requires us to pay for it. But we consider it a convenience to use the U.S. Postal Service, and so we ask people to pay. And most people do. They put a stamp on it. They're willing to pay that if they want to use the Postal Service. But then there's those that don't, and we still pay it.
How many of those drop boxes would you say that you have in Utah County?
We have 28.
Okay.
So there's one in every city.
That's pretty convenient.
And all are secure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now you brought in a sample ballot, a mini sample ballot. There are a lot of issues to vote for this. Is it overwhelming for some people?
You know, actually my sister called me and said, I filled out the front of my ballot, but I didn't know there was a second.
boy.
You got to look on the back.
Yeah, look on the back side of your ballot and look at those are where all of the, you know, the propositions and the referendums and initiatives are usually at.
And usually the county clerk has a website where you can find the information, what specifically it means, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and it's actually links to the state site, and the state site has what they call a voter information packet. So
that's
you
the
can
vote.utah.gov, right? Okay.
Yes.
That's the website to track your vote and everything else, too.
Okay, so it's front and back, the ballot. Salt Lake County was 2 pages.
It was.
Right, so that was even longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people will fill one page out and not send the other one in. And they have to basically just grab a blank ballot and put it in there because the machine wants 2 pages.
Oh.
And if there's not a second page, it'll throw the system off. So, you know, send both pages in if you live in Salt Lake County.
Okay, and it helps to do your homework and look up those initiatives and like the school issue there in Utah County. That's a huge about splitting the school district.
Yes.
You're going to get a lot of people turning out for that.
I think it'll bring a lot more people.
It's a hot issue.
Yeah.
Well, and presidential election year is bigger anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gets more people to the vote, and they might not fill all of them. They might just vote for one in one race, and
you can vote for one and leave the rest of it blank.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thanks so much for coming in.
Well,
our votes are safe and secure in Utah County.
Yes.
Okay. That's good to hear.
Even though you don't live there, Mary.
I know. Or as in Utahns, I guess.
Yes.